Hey everybody, welcome. You're listening to the KANU Chronicles. I'm your host, Nate, aka Crash, otherwise known. You can call me Crash. And this is episode 245. 245, guys. KANU Chronicles, keeping it going in the corona outbreak, the pandemic, all that shit. The plague. It's getting, more crazy each day somewhat, but to be expected. If you've listened to me, I've been, trying to do my best to share some thoughts on it and some observations as we've been going. And unfortunately, some pretty big number. The number's gotten that much bigger this week, but that was to be expected. More tests. That's what happens. More tests, more people get discovered to have or not have, and that's how this stuff works. But anyways, it's not to diminish anything. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be flippant. I may come off sometimes. I was just catching myself in a moment right now because of my doctor. Just an appointment I had set up 6 months already. And of course, things changed because of this. I couldn't go in, and they were going to have me do a video or just a phone call even. But I'm not going to, I'm going to get on with them. But anyways, trying to make a long story short, it was just the communication has been like a little funky this week with them. Like, I wasn't up that day when they were going to possibly do the appointment, my actual appointment day. And, which I guess you could say is my bad, but I was kind of fucked up that day. My neck, everything was like, it just wasn't a good day. So, they're cool. No, they've been really cool. I'm not talking, I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It's just that I was in a moment of like frustration with the texting back and forth type thing, because they asked me this morning if they'd like to do it this morning because he's going to be out next week, when already for 3 days, I think I already even from Monday, I was on top of it. I was like, let's do it next week if possible. And then I said, Monday's great, and then it was, so anyways, frustrating. A little bullshit frustration, no big deal, I'm fine. But I had to catch myself and hey man, they're dealing with a lot. And it's like, of course, even on a regular, they're dealing with a lot. And then with this, it's just obviously, even if they're not actually, they may not even be really impacted, but I'm sure they have some. And it's not just that, it's the hypeness of it all. Everybody having to be that much more on top of things in a certain way. So I'm just saying it's I'm trying to just like any of us, I'm sure, take a step back, be patient. Let's not get upset about dumb shit, stuff that's actually not important at the moment. Now getting a follow-up, it's important, but at the same time, I have, just going by off how I've been feeling mostly and everything, I think I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing actually very well. Sometimes I feel like I'd like a little more sleep type thing, but really, I'm fine. It's not even so much that, right now especially, it's like, I just need a little going out and activity type stuff, but there isn't anything to do. But right now, I'm driving. I decided, let me take a nice drive, get out further. I've been really in my block or so, and I've only kept it in the neighborhood, which is great. But I just need to, just get out for a second. It'll help. And it's helpful to see people and life, because there's people out, so it makes it more normal, to realize, there's normal stuff going on too, as much as it on the internet and being locked into it in a certain way, you just get, it takes you right to it, when you're doing that, as if you're in the room with all this shit. And, it really, please don't try to focus too much on the TV as far as news and stuff. Like, not too much of it. And quite honestly, like, I would say at this point, probably none if possible. It's not going to do anything for you, let me tell you. And some people, they want to argue that. And it's like, they just don't get it. They're caught up in it. And it's like, no. Because it's just getting you, mostly it's information that's there to get you upset. Some of that, yes, there's things to be upset about, no doubt, and go and do whatever you got to do about it. But to just go on and on every day and also get all the news that that's going to happen, it was already inevitable. It doesn't help your situation, like your daily whatever you're going through. You know what I mean? It doesn't save you from anything. As long as you got the information, which is real basic, keep your fucking hands clean, keep them off your face if possible. Well, really keep it off your face, but you know what I mean. Just, we got to be realistic too. We know everybody's going to touch here and there. Something's going to happen. Just try to be aware. That's all. While you're out, try to, at least if you do, you already washed your hands. That's all I'm saying. Shit like that. All right? It's common sense. Now they're saying, go ahead and wear a mask and shit. Fine, great. I brought one with me. I'm going to be doing it. I'm not going to sit here and wear it the whole fucking time. But yeah, when I go out into a store and things, I'm going to go ahead and start fucking doing it. No big deal. I'm not mad about it. Is it the fucking top of the line one? No, it isn't. Is it good? Yes. Even if it's a goddamn scarf, just go ahead, fine, alright? It's gonna help. The science fucking journals, they'll sit there and they're technical and all that. And if you want to be prudent and you want the best mask, go for it. The problem still is, by technical standards, if it's not actually designed for your face, it's still not, they can't say it's 100, alright? That's all. Now, that being known, look, everything else is still helpful to do. Anything else is still helpful. All right? Simple enough. And I think at this point, that's kind of what they're saying to people. Because it's gotten retarded. Everybody wants to be a fucking expert, including myself sometimes, but I'm not trying to act like that, though. I really, I've been really taking it day by day. But I know, actually, what I already got like a week or two ago, it's pretty much been the same. There's not a lot different stuff. People are more just being, they're being real, just creating vigilance. That's good. That's okay. But to a point. Because it's really, getting in people's head. In a way that could be a bit unhealthy. That's all I'm saying. But I don't know, man. It's just but this isn't a moment. I'm not mad at people for certain reactions. I get it. It's hard. It's upsetting. It's it's a real thing, and especially if somebody in their family or themselves, if they're going through it, or whatever, you're definitely getting that impact. But just remember again, 80+% of us will most likely be mild or maybe have the asymptomatic, or, you know what I mean? Just, you gotta, yes, could we fall in that other percentile? Yep, sure. That could happen, man. But focus on the other part, because that's really, these are just real, this just, and you got to think of things that way. So, but don't forget. Sorry, I'm chewing a little gum. I will try not to chew it too much on here, if that's gonna, bother you. But if it bothers you too much, just turn me off. But yeah, if don't forget, man, there's plenty of other things in our life that probably is going to be the thing that will be the death of us. Because that's what we're really getting to when it comes to this thing. You know, this is just exposing, you know, how life is fragile. It's a daily reminder type thing. We probably already know that, most of us, but you go on and all that. But now we're focused every day, right? Like, it's a funeral every day, you know, and it really is for people. So that they can't, and it's a really fucked up funeral because nobody can go, and it's just that person, that's it, and it's real. Yeah, so it's terrible. I'm sorry that that's going on. Hopefully at some point those people could be, you know, they can do somewhat of more of a memorial for them, you know, and I'm sure they will. There'll be, it's going to be really a lot of stuff going on like that for some time. It's going to be tough. And, yeah, man, so, you know, but then on the other hand, there's people that are recovering. 93-year-olds recovered right now. I saw that. That's great. There's been a 110-year-old guy over in Italy. I might have brought it up already. He recovered. He was born right during the like right at the end, or whatever you want to say. He was there, born in the Spanish flu, man. Didn't say he had it, but, you know, nevertheless, he was a baby in that time in Italy, so I'm sure it was pretty close if it wasn't, you know. You know, either way, it's pretty remarkable shit. Somebody 110, 93, any of that stuff, recovering from any pretty good illness or, you know, something to this effect, that's big. Like, those are huge. Those are huge to look at. That's really good stuff. That's good hope. So, you know, you gotta look at those, you know, you gotta look at those things, man. But, you know, to worry, it ain't gonna help you, man. I think that probably brings your immune system down, really. Yeah, I think it's proven. Stress can, I think it definitely, yeah, man, it makes you vulnerable, you know. And not that we're not vulnerable enough sometimes. So, yeah. So just try to, you know, I'm just trying to bring anybody that's, you know, that concerned, and you know, maybe I'm even, you know, I'm doing it for myself a little bit because I am concerned, but I feel good. I don't have like this anxiety feeling. I don't have that, thankfully. I don't suffer from some of the stuff that, you know, that anxiety type stuff. I do have some, but not like some people really do, you know, not like people that really kind of suffer from it, you know. There's levels to it. Mine's really not that bad. Plus, you know, the herb helps. A little beer. I'm seeing all these trailers over here in the park. I wonder if those are containments are going to be used, possibly. They're just like nice Coleman trailers. Wow, tons of them. Maybe that's for homeless too. That's over here in Hanson Dam. It's always a good, any emergency that this park is always a big part of anything being done in LA. It's called Hanson Dam. I used to live right across from it. It's in the Lakeview Terrace area. And the movie Lakeview Terrace ain't Lakeview Terrace, by the way. That was in another neighborhood. Yeah. A little far from here, too, where they actually shot it. But, you know, that's fine. I mean, it's not like, you know, it's not like they were way off, probably. I'm sure it looks pretty similar here and there. I don't know if they shot any in Lakeview Terrace, though. That's what was kind of weird to me. It's like, why wouldn't you? Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe they just filming permits, I don't know, maybe there's something to that. Somebody dropped, I don't know, that just seemed weird to me. I could see, like, if you're going to use a certain neighborhood maybe for whatever, you know what I mean, that's a common thing or whatever, but yeah, it's just kind of like, why wouldn't you just shot over there? And why wouldn't you have a place over here that could have used? I don't know, that's weird. I'm sure I gotta look that up now, see? Let's see if there's any answers on that. It's a mystery. Look at the horses. That's cool. So I'm driving by some ranches out here. It's a nice drive over here, guys. This is a part of LA. Only locals would know. But yeah, if you're a tourist, man, and you're ever going to get out here, I would say, especially, if you get a rental car, come take a drive up Foothill. Look up Foothill Boulevard, Lakeview Terrace, basically Lakeview Terrace. From there, take Lakeview Terrace, and you could drive this all the way to Pasadena and beyond. Nice drive. It's, traffic lights, but it's a lot of space between most of the traffic lights. It's pretty, especially this part of it. It's real nice. Nice mountain view right here. Palm trees with regular trees. It's real pretty. It's a neighborhood. You got houses all along right here where I'm at. Now the whole way it changes at different points. You have businesses and you're going through different towns. Like you'll be going through Sunland and Tujunga coming up, which is where I was actually, that's where I grew up, like when I was little, before we moved to Pittsburgh. Shout out to anybody in Pittsburgh, by the way. Real quick, by the way, on this podcast, well, let me also say it real quick. My social medias, Twitter, hit me up on Twitter, at KANU Chronicles. And you could also follow me on Instagram, at GRTN and the number 8. Great name. And that's it. So you just, real simple. So you can look me up on either of those. Just a little bit busy, it's pretty normal around here too, I have to say, right now where I'm driving. This is always pretty empty, but there's some people. It's kind of looks a little normal. So yeah, this is good. This is good to get out like this. It is, man. I'm sure it's not like this at all. Like you go to Hollywood, I know people are like, it's really like, wow, just because you expect it a certain way. But places like here where it's like already kind of pretty chill, it's not really that much different. But yeah, anyway, so that's my socials. But yeah, getting back to this area and growing up, I grew up out here till I was 10. And there, little chickmunk or squirrel running across the street. I almost hit that sucker. Right now I'm going over this bridge. I wish I knew the name of this. I should look it up. It's on Foothill, but it goes over the wash. It's just a bunch of rocks, essentially, but when there's some real big rain, this becomes like treacherous river shit. And then there's a golf course they just built here some years back. This is probably close to 20 years old now. Yeah, it's been around. It was a big fucking deal when they were going to do it. Everybody was like, oh no, But it's worked out fine. It's worked out fine. They did a good job. They didn't... They did it in a way where they kept it intact with the nature. So that was like the big thing people were looking at. And it actually brought property value up. Yep, sure did. That's a golf course for you. But, it's real pretty right here. Right, Wentworth and Foothill, man. You get a beautiful view of the mountains. You get 3 mountain ranges, essentially. Maybe 4 or more. I don't know. It's like pretty cool. It's like a picture. Real pretty. Been the same since I've been a kid. Yeah, a lot of this that's the thing I really like coming up here. It's definitely like, it's pretty much the same. It's one of the few places around LA that definitely, there's others. I'm not just saying it's just here, but for me, I guess it's because more personal. It's like, it really, I notice a lot of things where it's like the houses, it's really like, oh, cool, man. Like, I don't see, like, the McMansion thing, which people have done now. Like, you don't see that just yet. I'm sure there's probably some. But I feel like it's one of the few neighborhoods still that people have, like, it's kind of generational in a way. Like, kind of people grow up here, stay here, or they leave, they come back. I think it's got a certain special thing about it for whatever reason. And it's because this side, it's about 20 miles. You're about 20, is it 20? It's probably about 20 miles from LA. And you're up by the mountains, or kind of close. close enough, and you're surrounded by them, and it's got more of a small town vibe for being in LA, because it's cut off from the rest of it's kind of cut off because of the mountains away from the other parts, so you feel in this like other place, But yeah, it's cool, it's nothing to go writing home like crazy about, but it's same old shit, kind of. I mean, it's gotten, I think it's even nicer, than when I was a kid here. The more when I look around at certain things, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So yeah, there's some good shit. But anyways, getting back into the podcast. So, what was I going to say? Oh, so I was going to say is I'm going to be doing, and it might already happen by this point, by the time this one releases, or whatever, but I'm going to be doing some live podcast. That's what I'm looking to do, and do try to do quite a few in the meantime, might as well, and definitely going to be looking to get some people on, people I know, and and who knows, maybe I'll get some of you guys to get on. That would be fucking awesome. So it's going to be coming up here. I don't have a date right now. It'll probably just be, kind of spur of the moment. So yeah, hopefully you're going to be following me on Twitter and such. But even if you're not, you should, pretty much get the notice. And there was no place for me to return. Excuse me. Nice, the first burp of the podcast. Yeah, and you should be getting the notice. If you have you're going to need the Podbean app, though. If I end up having it where I can have people call in, you're going to need that app. So you'll probably have to be like a listener, so you might need to make, an account. But there's a ton of podcasts on it. It's just like any of these other ones. So if you really, really want to, be involved, get the Podbean app now, and that way you're all set. So by the time I get it going, we're all good. And even so, you should go ahead and get me on Podbean. That gives me a real good direct support as well. It's awesome. And, but either way, wherever you guys are listening, if it's Castbox, Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes, and TuneIn Radio and all that, that's fantastic. iHeartRadio, which this isn't being heard on, not these recent ones. It's been like 50 episodes since they've had me write. I gotta hit them up again. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, just keep a lookout. Should be fun. Got a lot of, always got stuff going on. So, or making things going on or doing whatever. Right now, it's been. Honestly, this last, I guess it's been 2 weeks, or I don't even know now. I'm getting lost, but yeah, I guess no, it's 2 weeks going into the third week coming up for me as far as being out of work. Coronavirus-wise, this is going into pretty much, I'd say it's more like week 4 in terms of LA. Like when it started, like the first, yeah, like for bars and all that, that's where I kind of look at it. So that started at like the 12th or so, right? Yeah, pretty much. And then I was like a week later or so, it was something like that. So, yeah, so it's coming up, pretty much a month coming up. Feels longer in a way. It feels longer, but that is what it is. And I'm driving up these mountains. I'm actually, well, I'm not in the mountains, but it's kind of right there. You're at the foothills, as they call it. Beautiful area. It's still cool to come. It's like when I think, damn, I can't believe I grew up around here. And it's like. But it's like, nah, it was dope. And it was, especially back in those days. It's always fun as a kid. But seriously, the 80s for me and out here, This is right where I was talking about. Actually, I was going to just mention, but E.T. I'd have to go up here a bit, but where E.T., where the home was, where those people were, you know, the whole neighborhood and all that, shot up here. It's way up in the mountain. This is still Sunland. It's probably Tahunga. Yeah, I think Tahunga would be more like it, but it was very new development at the time, that whole area. But and I think they've even built further up from that, I think. I don't know, man. I haven't... No, I'm driving right now. Let's see if I can get up in there. I don't know. Not that you can see this, so... Yeah, this is one I should video. Oh, well. Maybe I'll get... Yeah. Guys, it's just easy sometimes, you know, turn this fucking thing on and just start talking, right? It's beautiful, though. It's real pretty up here. It really, just take my word for it. But you could look up Sunland and Tahunga, and you could look up some stuff on it. There's videos on YouTube people have put up. I should really do my own, though. I really should. I think I could do a pretty damn good job. Cardamine, I wonder if that's it. Oh, fuck it. Drive up some streets. I haven't fucked around up here for a minute, so why not? Got nothing else to do. Oh, it's no outlet there. Okay. Yeah, probably actually good to look up the directions to the place. We'll go back this way. I'm gonna get back to the boulevard. But yeah, it's cool. So yeah, the podcast. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep, you know, like I said, just now, like I said, I've been kind of getting back to what I was really trying to say. But yeah, last couple weeks I've been, you know, you're just, it just kind of takes you off your game, but you're also like, it was nice, like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and relax, you know? So I've been mostly that, and I mean, really, I don't have a lot to do, really. Like, we have an apartment, so I have no house to keep up like that. I mean, we have stuff to do there, kind of, but it's like cleaning, and, you know, I could, like, amongst my stuff in my area, like, the only thing I could do now, because I've contained it, but I have to, you know, I have to go back through and just do a sweep of, I'm at a point of like, okay, well, what do I want to get rid of now? What do I don't care about now? You know, and that's pretty much where I'm at. Just a little, it's just, yeah, shit like that, more condensing, but that's it. I have like a square of area of stuff. Like, in terms of like my stuff, like my wife, most of that she would just trash. She doesn't give a fuck. Which I wouldn't blame her. Why would she? You know, it's not going to mean a lot to her. And it really, a lot doesn't mean that much to me now. It's just been there. You know what I mean? Like tapes and all that. Like there's cassettes. I'm not going to lie, I want to kind of hold on to, but there's some I got to chuck them. You know, it's just like, come on, dude. But I definitely got to like box them up kind of thing, because I'm not going to play them, you know. I did a while back. I did transfer some, and that was great. And, but there's a little bit more I need to really actually go through and transfer, to be honest. But I'm almost like I'd rather pay somebody to do it. And, yeah, just because, like, if something funky goes on, they know what to do. I don't know. I'm not really feeling like fucking with tapes. You know, I'm kind of over that. But there's somebody out there, hey, that's their deal. So I want to, you know, make sure to do that before there's nobody. Yeah, no, I do need to transfer. There are the ones I need to do. There's like there's stuff I recorded when I was really young, and I should have already done it by now, to be honest. Back when I was in the studio, I should already did it then. I would have been, because it would have been super easy. You know, I could have put them on CD at the time at least, you know. But I have the tape deck, and I used it. I just haven't done it for a while, and I don't want to fuck them up. I don't want something funky to happen. I know they haven't played for a while, you know, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll get. I should be able to get some of that stuff, or maybe all of it. I just don't know. I have to be honest too, because they're pretty old. So if they fall apart, they fall apart. But I've kept them in a pretty good place. Like, it's never been like where they've been in shitty, hot, overheated type stuff. So it's just that, you have to move with cassettes or VHSs. Like, you have to, if you can, I mean, like nobody does basically, but you gotta, like, if you could rewind them or play or forward or play, just do that every now and then. It keeps them going, it keeps them from sticking. But after they sit a while, there's a good chance they could do that, but not always. There's tapes that'll play just fine. They're not the most super sensitive. They're just, obviously to a certain point. Like, you can't, you leave them in your car and just stuff like that, or anywhere like that's gonna, an attic or some shit that's gonna heat up real crazy, or yeah, you're gonna have a problem, But those are the only ones. That's the only ones I could give a shit about right now. In a way, like the rest of, because a lot of my other, the other cassettes, I have a lot that are, what do you call it? They were out, they were the artist or the album, that type of shit, not my own. Like, I have cassettes, the mixed, and it's like anybody. I had cassettes from radio and kind of mixtapes, and then I had ones that were, oh, cool, elementary, yep, closed, bitch. So I have, art, big time, the big artist. So I got those, the regular, for sale type cassettes. I got the ones that were from the radio and mixtape, and then these ones like when I was a kid, where I was trying to do my own like podcast, I guess. No, I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't remember how much I talked. I wasn't talking much. I was doing it in like I was a DJ, So it was more like that, and I was being silly, being fun and silly. And then it would go right to the song off the radio. It was kind of cool. I mean, especially looking back, it's like, man, I was really thinking about something like that. So it just shows that, well, here you are, man. Definitely should be talking, which that's not that surprising. But anywho, wow, all these places. This is a trip, man. I haven't, as much as I grew up around here, there's some parts of it I don't fucking know. Yeah, I'm driving around these streets up here. You'll get lost. You can you can get a little lost. You can get a little lost, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm telling you, a lot of these homes, pretty much, you can tell they've been the same. Some definitely new ones. It's a little everything going on. Yeah. But, what the fuck am I doing now? But yeah, that's about it. Just been hanging out, man. So yeah, I've just been, like I said, just chill. And now I'm at that point, I've, like yesterday especially, a couple, this week in general, a little bit, I really have started to, like, okay, let's get some, let me start doing some more productive type, whether it's like even just learning, like I've been doing that, like right now. Oh, well, I should be talking about it really. Because I'm not going to sit here and try to go on too much about all the bad things with Corona. And, or like, I don't care about, I'm not going to be giving you some conspiracies on it, guys. So, at least not now, at the moment. If I get somebody on that wants to do a bit of that, hey, you can talk about it. I don't care. But I don't, I'm just not really buying it like that. Or at least there hasn't been something that I'm like, interesting, not really. But, I don't know. That's just not, I'm not that into it at the moment. If you guys, if that's your thing, that's cool. Yeah, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give you guys more, just sit here and drone on about all the bad shit with it, that you guys got enough of that. So I'm going to give you some real information that you could actually use, because right now, what is it for you? What's it for you and me, in some way? Now, this is only going to be for people in the U.S. Anybody else in other countries, you guys obviously have your own governments. I'm sure they have some similar packages, or they don't. And, it just depends, of course. So you'll have to look accordingly. But this information is only for the U.S., and even with that, do some, you still got to do the work. You still need to look up some things yourself. I'm not Mr. Expert. Excuse me. By any means. So check it out. I'm just going to pull over here because no parking. Fuck. Yeah, fuck them. I ain't parking here. I'm just sitting here for a second. Plenty of space. I don't get that. Anyways, so gonna get into. Because I just started learning about this yesterday, really. But I'm gonna bring up unemployment, guys. So if you don't know, and I'm sure it's starting a little by little spread by your, anybody that's the diligent ones and all that, or just kind of found out too. But there's this CARES Act, it's called. It's the stimulus you keep hearing, but it's called the CARES Act, and it's over $2.3 trillion, which is like fucking insane, right? And right away, everybody is just focused on the regular, cut check that everybody's going to get, or at least a pretty huge portion. I think it's like 80% at least, or something like that. You'll get $1,200, and it's a lot of people. It's a lot of, I can't give you the exact to what range of money you can make. I think it's $75,000 and below as individuals, and then combined as a couple, $150,000. So you could have the husband or the wife that maybe they make $125,000 or whatever, or $90,000, and the other person just doesn't, they're coming up a bit short from that. Well, good for you guys, you get $2,400. So everybody's more focused on that. That is if that's all that's there. You know what I mean? That's not the truth. If you're unemployed, which is definitely a lot of us, so cut the crap. It's all good. And I don't care if you're a freelancer, if you're self-employed, if you've been really impacted and whatever. Unemployment now, you have to look it up yourself, but you are eligible. Like, so many people are eligible right now. Unfortunately, I'm not. If you're getting paid from your job, I'm pretty much sure you're not going to get it. But it's still good to know. So when and if the time comes up where that maybe runs out or whatever, then you know what you got to do, and you not only know what you got to do, but you could rest assured that you should be pretty, hopefully pretty good shape, all said and done. So basically, unemployment, and I could say this for California, but I'll just say overall. So for your state's gonna, I think at the lowest, it's like $275, right? That's the minimum you'll get. But it varies per state, so you got to look for your state. And then the maximum is going to be $713, which is Michigan, all right? So the government's also giving an automatic $600 no matter what. They're not playing all that. It's just $600. And both of those are per weeks. So you could potentially be getting under 900, what is it, 875 to 1,300, I think it is, in some change, per week. that's what's going to be available or is available right now. So letting you guys know that, look it up. If you're in the middle of it, you said I got denied or something, I have a friend that's going through it, just appeal, and do your, really try to stay on it. I know it's slow, it can be frustrating. Mostly though, it should be pretty smooth for people. It's especially as this next week or so goes, because now they're gonna get more and more caught up with everything. It just depends on your state, though. That has a lot to do with this stuff, so don't get it twisted. But just know that because of this has opened up it's changed it. So it's not what the typical unemployment's been. Matter of fact, too, you do not have to look for a job. They are not expecting it because of the situation. So that's out of that. You don't have to worry about that. Also, it's going to be available up to 39 weeks. So that's pretty sick. This is unprecedented, guys. I mean, you're talking literally people are going to be making up to what? People, and this is Michigan, because I think they're the only ones with that. Yeah, it's $700 and some dollars. California is like $450. It's ridiculous. California should be higher. It's $450 or so a week, which is insane. But hold on, spit some gum out here. Put it in something. But yeah, it's so somebody in Michigan, like I said, it's $700 and some change. So with the 600, that's going to be $1,300 a week. So you're making, what is that per month? That's 12, $5,200 a month. $5,200, and if you're in Michigan too, man. I mean, you can't do much with your money per se. Like as far as there's not much going out you could do. I mean, you go shopping and you can food. You can go do like real shit. You know what I mean? Go eat, pick up some takeout. You can, there's certain shit you could do. But I'm just saying, of course, it's not like all of a sudden you can. It's kind of good though. That's the trip about it, because really. If you can get one of these situations going, and it's happening right now as we speak. I'm sure it's already happening. Man, you could really set yourself up in a real good way coming up, because it doesn't stop there, guys. That's that relief. Then on top of it, there is forbearance for mortgages up to 12 months if they're federally financed loans, which is a lot of them. And even so, they're encouraging a lot of banks anyways to offer certain things, so you can get in touch with them. But you could also look up about getting this 12-month deal. That is a Consumer Affairs, I think you go to, is what it was. ConsumerAffairs.gov, if I'm not mistaken. So if you really want more of this information, or at least a one-stop shop, if you want to call it, you don't have to pay for anything. But if you do, you probably do want to go ahead and do it, because it's going to be worth it, I think, if you're somebody that's into this stuff. And then some. But shout out to Matthew Lesko. He's the man. If you've grown up long enough or been around a little long enough, you would know him. He was the guy that used to be on TV. He had the question marks on these silly suits that were always like different colors. Still wears the same stuff today. And he'd have this book, how to get these grants. And he's very animated. That guy. He's still going, but he has a YouTube channel, so you could just watch what he has on there, which he definitely does offer a lot of stuff for free on there. And if you want even more information from him, get all his resources essentially, you pay I paid like $60 or so, like a little while ago, and I have access for a few months or whatever, but you could keep whatever you get from him forever. It doesn't go away. So it's all through his Facebook these days, and he provides PDFs that have videos and links. You just download these things, and then you could watch them on your own. You want to make sure to, when you get in there though, if you do join up, go in there, get the documents from them, get all you can, so that way, if once your thing may expire or whatever, you have that later, And if you want to renew, you renew, because he's going to always keep anything that's coming up, he's going to give you this heads up. And this particular time, what a gem. Let me tell you, he is the fucking man, all right? And, the biggest thing from him that he pointed out, and it's something just to keep in mind anytime with this stuff, that, when it comes to trying to find information on how to get free this or get some kind of help or whatever, there's a lot of stuff on Google. They're all paid to be on those pages, right? Or they're businesses, you know what I'm saying? You want to look for the sites that are .gov or .org. That's where the free and real help is going to be, Now, all this stuff can be of course, we know how it is with government stuff. It can be slow, it can be a bit funky, but as long as you fit the criteria wherever it is, you're going to get it. You just have to be patient. Be nice to them if you have to talk to anybody. But that's it. That's all you got to remember, And, main thing is be patient. Now, in the meantime, we need the money. You may be, right now, you may really need the money and you're whatever. Hey, go, you gotta go make it happen. Go get on one of these apps, do some rides, do whatever you gotta do. If you go to a store, they're hiring. There are things that are hiring. You just gotta go for it. You're probably not gonna do something you like for the moment. And still, get all this going. Still go for the unemployment and everything, all right? Don't worry about it. If you do get hired or you do get some kind of work, you figure out what you want to do from there, If you want to just go ahead and take the work, or if you maybe you just want to say, hey, I'll take the unemployment, It's up to you. It's up to you however you want to work that. And hey, I'm not saying to do it, but, you can do both. It's and, just be aware you will end up owing some money to somebody possibly. They ain't going to put you in jail or anything. You'll end up owing some money. And even with that, just because of little experience I had, they'll work with you. Like you just be honest. That's all. When it comes down to it, honesty is the best policy when it comes to shit like that. And, yeah, I mean, really, like that's the thing, and people get weird about this, man. They pride or whatever, or maybe how they were raised, a lot of it's that there's people that are like, I never took an unemployment check and this, and they feel real proud. It's like, you're paying for that, man. Don't feel bad about taking it. If you didn't, I'm not mad at you either. I'm not mad at people for wanting to continue to work or being able to do that. Do it. I think that's fantastic. But don't feel some kind of way over any government help. These are made for, this is made for everybody, at different times and different things. And we do pay into it. We pay for it. And if we're not paying now, we are paying later. That's how it goes. That's what this is. And about time that we get some help more so. And there actually always is. We just don't know about it. That's what Lesko's really makes out a great point for. And a lot of this, guys, because we get caught up with grants, like it's a grant for the... No. He said there's a lot... They're personal grants, which are easier than a lot of these other ones that are business grants, but most of the money out there are for persons. So, business-wise, yeah, you could possibly get some grants, and that's available too, but don't miss out on what's personally available out there for people. And there's a lot of it. It's just, you're not going to qualify for it all, or it isn't going to be for you, But in this situation, the unemployment's definitely going to be for a lot of people, so... don't feel bad. Definitely I say use it to your advantage. It is your, right and money. There's nothing to feel weird about at all. You need the help. It's not your fault with your situation. most people probably, or at least I hope, because out of that's going to vary, but mostly if you're with pretty large companies or at least strong enough businesses that you're going to be back to work pretty soon, I'm sure. It's going to be a little while, but it'll happen. And that's great. In the meantime, hey, take the help. And it's also a way to keep yourself safe anyways. Why stress yourself more, run around, trying to look for jobs? I mean, to me, the best thing right now, I'll give you another one. Another job that is good right now. They are hiring. They need like 500,000 or so. I don't know how many they've filled, but I'm sure they still got people they need. But the census, they're hiring. It's this year's census again, and it's, I think, $13 to $30 an hour. So you could look that up. And I think they might even have it now where they kind of have it like a Uber app. Some of these government jobs are starting to get hip to that. So they're making it, they want it to be flexible. And that job always had that aspect, but now they're getting with the technology on certain levels. So, you could go for that. But I'm just saying, if you can get unemployment and you qualify, because it's all about your eligibility time, it's not about when you file. So meaning if you've already been out of work without money for a month, you should get paid for that. All right? So just do it. And all you can do, and if you're not sure and you don't know and just do it anyways. All they're going to do is deny you. You're not going to get in trouble. Nobody's going to be mad. That's the great thing with all of these things. When it really comes down to it, just like even job applications. Not that we all do it, or I'd say that I would, but there's titles and things out there we can look at and you could say right there and go, there's no way I have any business applying for that job. But you know what? I bet you if you started changing that attitude, or we all started changing that attitude at times, and you just said, you know what, I'm going to start fucking applying to all this shit and just see what happens. I bet you'd be surprised what may happen in some situations. You might get a hit up for this job that, like, you can't believe. Like, what? Why would you, you know what I mean? So that's the thing. It's really try to keep a good attitude about this stuff. And that's it, man. And I'm sorry if it's, if it's really rough for you again, do everything you can. You should be protected on rent. You're probably gonna, like, if you had to skip rent this month, you're probably gonna have to owe that. Okay, that's just how it is. That's all right. Sorry it's that way, but whatever. Your landlord should work with you on it no matter what. They'll figure it the fuck out. All right, but you should give them a heads up about the forbearance thing, because you might actually save their ass, and by doing that, maybe you'll then get hooked up even more. Right? Because these things aren't getting emailed to us. We're getting emails from all these businesses we've had our emails with at some point, but we're not getting heads up on these things. It's like you have to look and know what's going on. And if you could be that person to pass that along, fucking A, man. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just sharing this, whatever information I got that's good, I'm going to share it with you guys. And the more everybody, since a goddamn dumb virus is spreading, let's spread the information that could do some shit too. Treat that like a virus. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we need right now. People need help. They need to get their money right. This is how to do it. All right? So you do that. Deal with your if you got to deal with the mortgage yourself, you got a house, you deal with that. Your bank's going to work with you, no doubt. If you need further help with any of this stuff, look up your local HUD offices. They are there. They give free counseling. You don't have to pay for it. These are things that I learned from them. So that's what I'm sharing. And if you want to hear more, look him up. He'll give it to you all day. I'm trying to chunk it down a little bit. And your credit cards. If you have credit cards, student loans, auto payments, they all should be working with you. All right. Some stuff, just look at how it's said. Some things you may have to owe that later. Some you might get hooked up. more than others. That's just what it's going to be. There's going to be little variants, but mostly you should be able to get helped in this time. Just don't get in your head and be stuck on the how it's been normally and get all like, I gotta take care. Don't stop all that. If you're still getting paid, or you have a job or situation where you're still working and you're able to keep up, of course, continue as usual. Take care of what you gotta take care of. Now I wouldn't say, hey, if you can take advantage of a little of this, why not? If you just feel like you need that little breathing room, take advantage of it. Get yourself a couple months free of payment for something. Do whatever you're going to do. But I would say mostly, if you can pay, just take care of it. You won't have to deal with any of that. And that's advice I got even from a lawyer last night on his Instagram, because he was talking about this stuff. And I said, hey, if you could pay, should you still? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. I know it's like it's not dumb, but it's like, I just wanted to ask, like, I just want to check in on that. Just for the hell of it, just see what that opinion would be. But it makes sense, because again, rent at this moment, unless you got something in writing with a landlord, as far as I know, and again, I'm going to keep saying, look these things up. I'm not the professional. I'm just trying to share a little bit, get you on your path. But if it's not explicitly like, it has to be like rent forgiveness. If you have forgiveness there, that means you're good. You don't owe anything type thing. But mostly it's not going to be that. You're going to have freeze. I think forbearance kind of falls in the same thing. Well, forbearance might be kind of like forgiveness, I think. I have to look that up. Look on that. You might want to look yourself too. But I feel like that is like, they kind of leave it alone for that whole time, and then you just pick up payments at that point, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I think happens. So, which really, it would be nice if it should be like, and I think that's the whole thing, is as long as, this money, it's really supposed to create that situation. At least you would hope. You know what I mean? But that's what it really should be, I think. It should be a thing of, look, everything's on pause, and we'll pick right back up on business coming up later. That's it. Because trust me, the big corporations, the real companies, they're getting their money, all right? They're getting it. Trust me. And they're getting it faster than we're going to get it, all right? They're probably getting some right now. Like my company, they're probably getting some right fucking now. The studios in general, I almost wouldn't, they're getting it. And they already obviously have tons and tons of money and all that good stuff, but nevertheless, they do have to try to, it's important for this to happen. This is what you got to do to keep everything, intact, or else it'll be, there's a lot of things you could do. I mean, governments could do a lot. You'd be surprised. It's just, unfortunately with this, there's a lot bigger things going on. You have world banks and IMFs and, I don't know all that shit. But nevertheless, to keep things going when they can get going, that's what they have to do. Are they, if you want to, now this is where I'm saying, this is where some of you guys, if you're conspiracy a bit, or people get thinking, they're going to take advantage, or they're going to make money. Yeah, they are. There's definitely people doing that. Why don't you become one of them? All right? Take advantage of it and get your money too, because it's there for you. So do your best. We have to fight a little harder. It's a little difficult. We don't have people to talk for us. We have to do it. We have to wait. Usually, unlike a big business or corporation, we got to wait. It's a little longer. Nevertheless, it happens. Look, I'll tell you an instance for me some years back. I'm not going to talk unemployment. If you've been on unemployment, you know that experience. I've experienced it enough times. it's mostly worked out fine for me. All right, but I'm only talking for me. Like, I don't think I've really ever gotten denied. All right. But as far as an experience I want to share that was like more of the weight thing, and it was a bit, it was a stressful time. I had been on unemployment, and I was still getting some jobs here and there, but it was like, kind of goofy. But I went ahead and I found out about this WIA program. It's called WIA, the Workforce Investment Act that Clinton made in the 90s. And it's still in effect to this day, okay? So it helps people get money to go back to school for something else. So if you're displaced from work, it really works with unemployment type thing. But I don't necessarily think you have to be, though. I think you could even apply if you're employed. It may not work out, but you might. You never know. It's one of those things. And I stumbled on this. So because of this graphic arts type school here, that's what they worked with. So I went ahead and went through it. Went to one of these work source centers. Excuse me. They're the ones that usually do. They basically are the ones that take care of unemployment. You have to look up in your area. But look it up, see, just look closely. And so anyways, I went through the bit of paper. It was a pretty good bit of paperwork. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't hard. Took a couple things that they were required, like, doing resumes. It's just these certain requirements so that way this all goes through. Actually, the more I think about it, I think you do have to be unemployed. But anyways, I think it ended up being, because the lady was real straight up, because it was kind of like later in the year, and the lady was just like, as we were going along, I would follow up, and she was just like, well, look, it's the end of the year. Trust me, it's coming up when the new budget starts for the new year, And I'm like, all right. And sure enough, it happened. The new year come up, and boom, I got it. Goes right to the school, and even to this day, I've taken some classes there, but to this day, I still have credits with them, and it was a good chunk. It was like, I want to say it was about $6,000 to $8,000, that they got. So yeah, and that's like, a lot of times it could be that, or it's a community college, and that's pretty much it. It's not for full-on university type stuff, but it's something, at least, there's programs, to get you going. At least get you going in the right direction, or get a job from one of these kind of programs, or certificates. There's a lot of stuff, but there's so much, guys. There's another one, UCLA right now. If you're out here, I've seen it on Facebook. They're promoting it, and they're probably doing it on purpose like this, but you could learn coding right now for free. They have a 6-month course going on, and it's and you can get to coding, and they'll help you with career and all that shit. So, same thing. Take advantage. If maybe that's enough up your aisle, or maybe you're just like, you just need something, go for coding, man. That's a fantastic one to get. If you get that skill, that's a huge one, because as much as you could go work for people, and not a bad idea. You definitely would probably want to do that, just because you're going to learn that much more and stuff, especially as you're new. But you could also, at the same time, start up on freelance, and there's a lot that you're going to be able to probably do from home. You're not going to even have to go into a place with that type of job. So you'd be surprised, and there's definitely some good money to make in there. It can pay pretty damn well. Even on the lower end, it's going to pay better than a lot of stuff, and it's a lot less. You just have a lot more different, advantages. Only thing is, being on a computer a lot. Maybe that's not, so much your thing, but a lot of us are already, You just have to figure it out. You just have to look at what you think about it, And also, it's like, sometimes you just got to try. You never know. You might be really surprised. You might go, wow, like, you might be like, this isn't hard at all. You might not like it, but you'll be like, you'll figure it out enough and go, you know what I mean? You'd be surprised, especially like kind of on these, if you're an entry-level new guy and, they're not going to kill you, they're going to give you probably what you can handle and, maybe challenge you a little bit, but hey, what an awesome opportunity. It really is. And there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those out there. So you gotta, please do what you can. I mean, if you don't have to do this stuff, guys, if you're good, like you're secure with your job pretty much, by all means, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it's nice. Like some people, maybe it's not about like, you gotta go and do that, but you're just like, I want another skill. I just want to learn a little something else, boom, there you go. Or any number of things. What is it? Udemy is another great resource. It's called Udemy. A lot of free courses or cheap courses, like really cheap. We're talking $10 shit, $20. You'd be surprised what you might get on there. I haven't even looked at it a lot, but I'm just sharing these things what I do know. But yeah, they're one. There's another one, lynda.com, Lynda. They're more, I think a little more, she's more like with creative. Well, it's not a she, it's just the name of the place, the site. But, excuse me. There's a lot on there as well. And look with your company. Sometimes some companies cover or have a discount with them. But I think it's pretty affordable. There's a lot of these different things. So all I'm saying is, even if you're secure with your job, maybe you're not secure with your job, with all this extra time, if you have some, which I'm sure most of us do, might as well learn a little something, right? So anyways, guys, I think I've gone a pretty straight, I'll keep going. I'm still feeling good to talk. I'm right next to an In-N-Out right here. It's up off Foothill. I'm actually so-called illegally parked, but I haven't got hit up. I don't see any cops ain't coming around like that up here anyways. There's quite a good bit of traffic actually. And the In-N-Out's got a nice little line. Damn, that kind of sounds good right now, to be honest. But I don't know. I'm not gonna. Oh, if I would hit the one up and that's closer to my house. Oh, but this is nice, man. Yeah, this In-N-Out got a mountain behind it. You got some trees, and it's been here forever, and it's always just like all of them, man. These things are busy. But yeah, there's a good little line going down the street. Not too bad. Joey Diaz was talking on his podcast, said there was the one in Hollywood's like fucking way, like it was like way down the street type shit. I was like, damn. Not surprised. People need, people are trying to find little things to do here and there, and you really do need to. He was like mad at it a little bit, and I get it. Like, it is annoying, but people are just you get restless, man. You want to go get something, you got a taste for it. It's still safe. It's, because you're in your car. Especially they're saying like one per car type thing. Of course, not everybody's going to be in that situation. You got like family and stuff. But, yeah, it's about a pretty safe deal. Not too bad. The workers here, I'm looking at them. I don't see any face masks. Nope. They're just regular. I'm trying to see if they got gloves on or anything. I don't know. Yeah, they're just like regular with it. I don't know if other certain ones, or if they're just not allowing their employees to have face masks. I don't know. Or, whatever. Yeah, I started seeing my Chinese spot. Went in there, and I've seen them. I think the last time I went there, walked by, and now they were starting to sport the face mask, which I was like, that's good, because it's kind of, especially that kind of buffet style, they're direct, the people, we're fine, it's blocked off from us, but they're exposed to that side, and, it's not like they're talking to you, kind of, but it's any little chance to help, I think that's not too bad. But, yeah, it's all good. I mean, look, if you end up, and we probably have already, any of us, you never know, if coronavirus was on, or your whatever with your food, first off, it's probably cooked anyways, dead, and, even so, you consume it and eat it, your stomach kills it, so that's the good news. Alright, no, not to say, we don't want anybody coughing on it, and you don't want to see that and then go, I'll just still eat it. Of course I wouldn't fucking recommend that, I'm not talking like that, that's retarded. But yeah, you don't have to, you don't have to be too, I don't know, you don't have to be too, overthinking about the process. Like I said, you could get some takeout, you'll be okay. You just gotta, the big part really with that is the handling, your hands touching shit, and then you touching, and because on their part, stuff's, as long as it's really cooked good, you're probably, you're gonna be fine. And like I said, you eat that or whatever, you're gonna be all right. It's yeah, whatever, guys. Look, do whatever you're gonna do. I'm not the expert. I don't want to fucking try to, I'm gonna keep saying that because it's like I'm really not, and I think we should all say that because that's what it seems like sometimes. You start talking about it, it's like, it's like, okay, I don't want to come off like I'm Mr. Know-It-All, or I've read so much on this. I mean, I'm reading as much as you guys and hearing, you know what I mean? So just keeping it real with you. And just remember that for yourselves, you know what I mean? Like somebody starts talking about it, like you got certain people in your family or whoever, and they're like really like, you know what I mean? And especially if they're going to be a nurse, forget about it. You're done. I mean, you're going to hear all about it. And you're just going to have to go, yup, okay. But that doesn't say you don't listen to some of that. But it's like some people are going to just be so extra. And it's pretty fucking annoying in my view. It's like, it's not helping, all right? Like, just shut up about the fucking virus. You know, seriously, like, really, like, you know, now if you're doing something that's not whatever, you know, somebody catches you, you know, they want to like, hey, stop, blah, 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 that's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, you know, people getting obsessive about every aspect, and, you know, they're just wiping things constantly, and they're just in their own space, and, you know, it's like, I mean, I'm doing some myself, no doubt, it's fine. Cleaning a bit, but I'm talking just a little too extra type thing, you know, that type of person. That's all I'm talking about. We all know somebody, God bless them, but it just get, you know, we're just getting hammered too much with it, so it just makes it like, so, but anywho, whew, cruising down the boulevard. Yeah, I'm right on. Actually, I'm coming up where, if you guys have ever seen Memento, really great movie, from 2000, I think it was. Carrie-Ann Moss is in it. She was in The Matrix. It was like right at the same time. About 2000, yeah, it was like right then. Well, anyways, the place that he was staying, the Travel Inn, I don't know if it comes up, they have it there on the, you have to probably catch it in the movie, but they filmed it up here in Tahunga too. That's another one. Teen Wolf was filmed up here, one of the liquor stores, a couple other areas too. They filmed up here. Yeah, it's like this side of town has got some shit. Terminator 3, There was a little part that was filmed here. It's gone though. It was supposed to be a veterinarian hospital, and it turned into somebody probably got some good payoff to that, and because right away they built a little strip mall right there. But yeah, it was like they set it up and then they knocked it down and rebuilt, like, kind of developed it. So I'm just gonna make a quick stop again. Just pull over and stop. Yeah, I'm now in an area I could actually park. So if I wanted to get out, I'm good to go. I don't have to think about it, even though it'd be really asinine to get a ticket for some parking right now. I would be like, are you fucking crazy? Because I think they're lightening up on all that shit too, supposedly. Mama's Grill. Damn, they probably have some good food. Maybe. You got these little shacks up here still. But yeah, that place, like I said, it was amazing. They made that place for the Terminator 3 movie and then developed it. It's just down the street a little further. Of course, you're not seeing anything I'm seeing, guys. I apologize for that. And yeah, I'll have to do a video up here. Got the time to do it, so I'll just come back up with that in mind, and I'll just do fucking videos, and then I'll throw it up on the YouTube. But yeah, it's got a lot of little places to eat. I'm sure there's some little hidden gems. This Leo's Pizza over here, that maybe they're pretty good. You got this Mama's Grill, Mediterranean. They're selling a big cheeseburger though and fries. So, and they sell kebabs. You know what though? There's a place when I was working at one spot, and I have to look for this now, but they made a hamburger. It was a Mediterranean spot, but they did a hamburger that was lamb, it was a lamb meat. I think it was lamb, or it might have been a blend or something. Oh man, it was fucking good, dude. That was good. And they put like a big onion on it. Like a big raw onion. And I actually liked it though. It was really good. Good flavor. Like they kind of, it was meant a little different style of a burger, but it was good, man. I really, really liked that one. I would get it again. So yeah. That's what's up. Got a little quiet there. A little breakdown in the traffic, but there'll be more coming down here. Oh, yep. So I'm right next to some mechanics. They're doing their thing. Like I said, there's some stuff here and there going on. Whoever could do some work is who's working. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, it's a bit active out here. I see somebody right now towing his. Oh, they're gonna go four-wheeling somewhere. They got like a nice, I don't know what you call it, dune buggy style, or like it's one of these new ones, four-wheelers though. It's real badass, four-seater. You could tell they're into it. They have the whole fucking gear on, big truck hauling it. Yeah, they're gonna be going up somewhere. It's not too far. There's I wonder how far. I wonder where they're going to. But you got mountains around here, so there's definitely some places up in the mountains. So it's probably a good hour or two kind of drive, depending on how far or deep. And then, of course, you can go to the desert, just over the mountains. You could find some places out there and fuck around. But yeah, guys like that, they know the spots. And, obviously you get something like that. Go on Google and you find everything you need. Where people are going with those things. But yeah, that's going to be fun, I'm sure. So that's good. Yeah, man, that'd be great. Shit like that right now. You got like some fucking shit to go ride out in the, dirt bikes and shit like that. Yeah, it's still a good time for that type of stuff, man. Basically, as long as you're just away from people, man. You could have a group, you could go meet up like a small group and all that, but just space yourself out. You'll be all right. Yeah, you could do that, no problem. There's so much, there's tons of room. All these places out here, you're not going to have people on top of each other. You can, but I doubt it. I'm just saying there's a way to do this shit. You just have to get away from wherever, larger group might be or something. You just go somewhere else. You figure it out. Or just, find the places people don't really go. Same with walking. You do the best you can. Around most of LA is pretty good because there's not like tons of people on streets ever. That's always the case, let alone right now. So that's great already. You don't have to worry about that too much. If my neighborhood, I'll walk and see some people here and there, but I just walk around. I hate to do it, but I've been like making more distance. But it's like, I'm just looking out for both of us, I don't want to be up anybody's face or behind them breathing their air, So just being, a little smarter, whatever with that. Oh, man. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop for now. I might continue more, but either way, appreciate the listening, and I'll be back on later.